General Hospital spoilers tease that Willow Corinthos is about to reveal a stunning new secret to her birth mother, Nina Reeves, a revelation that promises to shake the very foundations of their intertwined lives. In a twist of fate that neither Willow nor those closest to her could have anticipated, the delicate balance between loyalty, love, and manipulation is thrown into sharp relief as the drama intensifies. At the heart of this unfolding saga lies the painful reality that Willow, who has always maintained that she never wanted to leave Michael Corinthos or even consider a divorce, is now being forced into a situation she never imagined possible. The catalyst for this heart-wrenching turn of events is none other than Drew Quartermaine, whose insidious influence has gradually and inexorably steered Willow down a treacherous path. For much of her life, Willow Corinthos was the picture of innocence and stability. Growing up, she embraced a life filled with the comforts and certainties that came from her close bond with Michael Corinthos. Their love story, once the envy of many in Port Charles, was characterized by mutual respect and a deep-seated commitment. Willow's past was marked by hope and promise, a young woman with dreams and aspirations, living happily in the warm embrace of a relationship she cherished. However, fate had a cruel twist in store. A life-threatening illness nearly claimed Willow's life, casting her into a darkness where every breath was a struggle. It was in this desperate moment, when the shadow of death loomed large, that Drew Quartermaine emerged as an unexpected savior. In a dramatic turn, Drew's intervention not only rescued Willow from the brink of death, but also set in motion a series of events that would forever alter the course of her life. The debt of gratitude that Willow felt towards Drew was immediate and overwhelming. In her weakened state, she found herself drawn to him, not merely out of thanks, but with an admiration that soon morphed into something deeper. The rescue that once felt like a miracle evolved into a bond forged in the crucible of near-death. Willow, who had always prided herself on her decency and steadfast morals, was gradually lured into a relationship that defied her previous commitments. In a moment that would haunt her for a long time to come, she allowed herself to fall for Drew in a way that transcended mere gratitude. Their intimacy, marked by an act of passion, became a turning point, a moment where loyalty was tested and the lines of right and wrong blurred. It was a decision born of vulnerability, one that led Willow to sleep with Drew in an attempt to repay the debt of life he had bestowed upon her. Yet, the repercussions of that fateful night were far more severe than Willow could have ever anticipated. Rather than a simple act of reciprocation, the encounter plunged her into a quagmire of emotional and moral turmoil. Drew, ever the calculating manipulator, seized upon this moment of weakness to assert his control over Willow. It is rumored that in the days that followed, Drew issued a chilling threat, a warning that if Willow ever dared to reveal the truth of their liaison, he would unleash consequences so dire that not even her most cherished relationships would remain unscathed. This threat hung over Willow like a dark cloud, forcing her to swallow her pride and silence the truth, despite the disapproval and whispers of those around her. The stakes were raised even higher when the secret of Willow and Drew's night together eventually began to surface. In a cruel twist of fate, the very fact that Willow had succumbed to Drew's influence was exposed, putting her in an even more precarious position. Instead of offering her any solace or support, Drew intensified his manipulative tactics, ensuring that Willow remained under his thumb. His methods were not merely coercive, they were calculated to dismantle any sense of autonomy that Willow had left. It appears that Drew's ulterior motive went beyond mere control. He was intent on using Willow as a pawn to protect another secret, one that involved her birth mother, Nina Reeves. In a series of startling and convoluted events, it becomes evident that Willow's actions were not driven solely by her own vulnerabilities. There is mounting evidence to suggest that Drew skillfully manipulated Willow by convincing her that her loyalty to him was intrinsically linked to the well-being of her mother. According to some whispers circulating in the darker corners of Port Charles, Drew may have even gone so far as to tell Willow that Nina's life would be in jeopardy if she ever attempted to abandon him. This sinister threat, couched in the language of protection and survival, left Willow with little choice but to comply with Drew's every command, even if it meant sacrificing the very love and stability she once shared with Michael. The complexity of this emotional labyrinth deepened when, in a dramatic moment of reckoning, Nina Reeves herself revealed a long-buried secret. In a twist that added yet another layer of betrayal to the already tangled web, Nina disclosed that she too had succumbed to Drew's manipulations in the past, that she had once slept with him. This revelation, coming from the person Willow had always regarded as a pillar of strength and guidance, shook Willow to her core. Rather than directing her anger and hurt towards her mother, Willow found herself in a state of profound empathy. Both she and Nina had been ensnared in Drew's deceitful machinations, their lives irrevocably altered by the shadow of his influence. The shared experience of victimhood created an unspoken bond between them, a bond that, under the circumstances, seemed to offer the only glimmer of hope for redemption and retribution. In a remarkable display of resilience and unity, Willow and Nina began to forge a secret alliance, their combined resolve aimed at taking down the very man who had manipulated their lives for so long. Despite the immense pressure and the ever-present threat of Drew's wrath, the two women embarked on a clandestine mission to dismantle his power from within. Their plan was as audacious as it was perilous. They would join forces to outmaneuver Drew, using the very secrets he had forced them to harbor as weapons against him. For Willow, the decision to cooperate with her mother was not born out of spite or revenge alone. It was a desperate bid to reclaim control over her own destiny and to free herself from the oppressive grip of manipulation. Even as she outwardly continued to feign ignorance and compliance with Drew's demands, a silent rebellion was brewing beneath the surface. Drew's manipulation of Willow did not end with threats or emotional coercion. His tactics grew increasingly devious as he sought to control every facet of her life. There are unsettling suggestions that Drew explicitly warned Willow that any defiance on her part would result in catastrophic consequences, not just for her, but for Nina as well. The psychological torment inflicted by these threats left Willow in a constant state of internal conflict. On one hand, she longed to break free and to reclaim the life she had once envisioned with Michael Corinthos, a life defined by genuine love and happiness. On the other hand, the ever-looming specter of Drew's retribution and the potential harm to her mother compelled her to remain ensnared in his web. This harrowing predicament underscores the tragic irony of Willow's situation, a young woman caught between her desire for liberation and the insidious hold of a man who wields her vulnerabilities like a weapon. As the tension mounted and the stakes grew higher, whispers of dissent began to circulate among those who had once admired Willow's resilience. The public, already aware of the scandalous secret involving Drew and Willow, watched with bated breath as the intricate drama unfolded. Every interaction, every hushed conversation in the corridors of Port Charles was charged with the anticipation of a revelation that could alter the course of many lives. In this high-stakes environment, the choice to side with Drew or to resist him was not merely a matter of personal morality. It was a question of survival in a world where trust was a rare and fragile commodity. Yet, despite the overwhelming pressure and the numerous betrayals that had marked her recent past, Willow found herself at a crossroads. The truth was a double-edged sword. While the revelation of her complicity with Drew threatened to ruin her reputation and destroy the life she had built with Michael, it also offered a potential path towards liberation, a chance to finally confront and dismantle the oppressive forces that had ruled her life for so long. In a moment of painful clarity, Willow began to consider the possibility that the only way to break free from Drew's clutches was to embrace the truth, however painful it might be. It is speculated that the tipping point came when Nina, in a surprising act of maternal solidarity, disclosed her own secret involvement with Drew. This unexpected admission forced Willow to reevaluate her choices. Instead of casting blame on her mother for the betrayals of the past, Willow began to see their shared history as a foundation upon which they could build a united front against their common enemy. In the ensuing days, the dynamics between Willow, Nina, and Drew became a study in the intricate interplay of power, guilt, and redemption. While Drew continued to project an aura of control, his hold on Willow was gradually being undermined by the growing bond between mother and daughter. United by their mutual suffering and the desire to reclaim their autonomy, Willow and Nina set their sights on a daring and secretive plan to overthrow Drew's tyranny. Their strategy was fraught with danger, for Drew was not a man to be underestimated. Yet, the resolve of these two women, each scarred by their past but determined to forge a better future, lent an almost palpable tension to every whispered conversation and covert meeting. Willow's outward compliance with Drew's orders became a mask, a facade behind which she harbored her true intentions. To the world, she continued to play the role of the obedient and manipulated protégé, never betraying the facade of loyalty that Drew so desperately demanded. However, in the quiet recesses of her heart, a plan was taking shape. Every secret, every threat, and every moment of humiliation was meticulously noted, forming the building blocks of a rebellion that could one day topple the man who had manipulated her every move. The knowledge that she was not alone in her suffering and that Nina was ready to stand by her side provided Willow with the courage to dream of a future free from the chains of coercion. This clandestine alliance between Willow and Nina is a testament to the unpredictable nature of loyalty in Port Charles. In a world where secrets are currency and manipulation is an art form, the ability to trust even those who have once betrayed you can be the difference between survival and utter destruction. For Willow, the decision to confide in her mother and to work together against Drew is both an act of desperation and an assertion of her own agency. A bold declaration that she will no longer be a passive victim in a narrative scripted by the whims of a man intent on controlling her destiny. As the drama reaches a fevered pitch, every interaction between these key players becomes charged with an intensity that promises to leave lasting scars. The story of Willow's transformation, from a hopeful young woman in love with Michael to a conflicted soul caught in a web of deceit and manipulation, is emblematic of the larger struggles that define life in Port Charles. It is a narrative filled with heartache, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of justice against overwhelming odds. Drew Quartermain, the man at the center of this tumultuous saga, stands as a symbol of the destructive power of manipulation, a force that turns loyalty into a weapon and love into a tool for control. In the end, the unfolding events serve as a stark reminder that in the world of General Hospital, the line between victim and perpetrator is often blurred, and the journey towards redemption is paved with sacrifices that are as profound as they are painful. Willow Corinthos' story, marked by the crushing weight of manipulated decisions and the desperate fight for autonomy, is a poignant example of the resilience of the human spirit. Even as she navigates a labyrinth of threats and deceptions, her determination to protect those she loves and to reclaim the life that was once hers shines through as a beacon of hope in an otherwise dark and treacherous landscape. This intricate tapestry of deceit, loyalty, and rebellion is far from over. As Willow continues to juggle the conflicting demands of obedience and defiance, one truth remains undeniable: the struggle for control and freedom in Port Charles is as relentless as it is unforgiving. With every secret revealed and every alliance forged in the shadow of Drew Quartermain's manipulation, the stage is set for a confrontation that promises to redefine the fates of all those caught in its wake. For Willow and Nina, the decision to unite against a common enemy is more than just an act of defiance. It is a testament to their strength, their resilience, and their unwavering determination to reclaim their lives from the clutches of a man who once held all the power. Thus, as the drama unfolds and the stakes continue to rise, viewers are left to wonder, will Willow ever be free from the manipulative grasp of Drew Quartermain, or will she remain ensnared in a web of secrets and threats that leaves little room for redemption? The answer, shrouded in uncertainty and fraught with peril, is bound to captivate the hearts and minds of General Hospital's loyal audience as they bear witness to a tale of love, betrayal, and the ultimate quest for liberation. A tale where the bonds of family and the strength of the human spirit are tested like never before.